Disgraced former Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard took the witness stand last week in his own defense in a surprise move to deny the allegations against him. Now, Nygard has pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of sexual assault and 1 of forcible confinement in alleged incidents ranging from the 1980s to the mid-2000s. And this week, he'll be cross-examined by the Crown on the specific allegations brought against him by the 5 complainants. And joining us to talk about what's coming up this week at trial as everything continues in court, we're joined now by criminal defense lawyer Joseph Neuberger. And first of all, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I guess the first thing I wanted to ask you is looking at the kind of defense that right now Nygard and his legal team have put forward. This must be a really challenging, I don't want to say tightrope, but it almost seems like if you're saying you don't know someone and they can provide evidence, that must be challenging to be able to present that in court.
Yeah, you're correct. This is a challenging type of defense to run, because essentially what it's saying is I don't remember these individuals or these particular meetings that we've had. These are things that I would not have done. So these are essentially blanket denials, which are very challenging, especially when you're facing 5 complainants who have stories that are very similar in certain aspects. So it is a tight sort of walk to do, but maybe the defense has another witness that can lend some credibility to a number of aspects of what is testifying to. So we'll have to see what that witness will have to say.
And I guess we also have to see where the cross-examination will go to. I think on Tuesday when things start flipping around, the questions become a lot more direct and a lot less wiggle room to be able to offer answers like that's not in my character or that I don't have that recollection.
Right.
What do you think the defense is going to be, or not the defense, really the Crown right now looking? What do you think they've seen over the testimony that they want to touch on? I know this is supposition, but for the sake of
no problem. So they're going to go right after each of the set of allegations. So they're going to take each complainant, what they've said, and go after Mr. Nygard with those specific allegations. And I think what they're going to do is challenge him on his memory, challenge him on the way he conducted himself over time, and not only just put those allegations to him, but then try and undermine what he's said by, I wouldn't do this, that's not something that I would normally do. These types of challenges will be quite common in this type of a case. So I think they're just going to go right after him on everything is said and all the allegations.
Are they able to take any pieces of the other cases around in other jurisdictions? Is any of that stuff considered to be relevant or can be argued as such in either from the defense's standpoint if they get something that worked in their favor elsewhere, or more so from the Crown seeing other lawsuits and other cases elsewhere?
Okay, so that's a good question. No, that's not admissible. Anything like that, if it were to get into the questioning or before the jury, would cause a mistrial. So anything that's going on in other litigation or the criminal cases would not be admissible, because that evidence could taint the jury pool and is not relevant to this prosecution. So they have to be very careful that nothing seeps in. And
when in your expertise, how difficult is that to keep the jury pool from being tainted?
No, it's pretty good. These are professional Crown attorneys. Mr. Greenspan's very, very well, versed in how to do this. So they'll focus on what evidence has been admitted. This has all been pre-tried to some extent, so they understand their parameters. So I don't think that will be a difficulty for them at all.
And what about the difficulty for the defense now? After during cross-examination is one thing, but going forward, they've been able to present some part of their defense. We don't know if there's anything else coming, but how the Crown's at least showed them a little bit of what their hand is going to be. They have to be able to prepare for that.
Yeah, so essentially what's going to happen is once the cross-examination is over, we'll see if the defense has another witness. We'll see how impactful that is. After that, really it's just going to eventually go to the jury. And the defense has to overcome more than just simply saying there are a host of inconsistencies and there's certain evidence that's refuted by Mr. Nygard, because you're facing 5 complainants where the Crown's going to say each provides circumstantial credibility to each allegation. So it's going to be a real challenge going forward. It'll be interesting to see how the jury closings will come out. But I think cross-examination is something that's going to be very interesting to watch.
Criminal defense lawyer Joseph Neuberger joining us live on CP24. Thank you again for your time.
Pleasure.
We very much appreciate it.